So let's see. We can start it in time. So it is up to you to when to start. And I'm ready
Yeah,
for
from 2 o'clock. From 2 o'clock we will start, sir.
that. Okay, fine. So
So, good afternoon, everyone. This is Dr. Rajaram Mohan Rao, Associate Professor, Department of Pharmacology, Shri Vishnu College of Pharmacy. Welcome back to the second day of FDP SGP program. I hope you all had a fruitful and engaging experience yesterday and are looking forward to have another insightful day today. Before we begin, allow me to take a moment to introduce our institution. I invite our beloved principal sir, Dr. Nataraj sir, to speak a few words about today's FDP SGP.
Thank you, Rajaram Garu. First of all, I would convey thanks to Professor Ranjit Garu for the acceptance of our invitation with short notice, and we are very thankful for your presence, sir. Thank you so much, sir. This session really will be enlighten all the audiences. One of the emerging topic, role of complete well-being in facing challenges, making strategies, and finding solutions. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Now I invite Dr. Pawan Kumar Samudrala, HOD, Department of Pharmacology, Shri Vishnu College of Pharmacy, to introduce our speaker, Professor Ranjit Singh sir.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Raja. So myself, Dr. Pavan Kumar Samudrala, Head Department of Pharmacology, Shri Vishnu College of Pharmacy. Yeah, very good afternoon to all. So it is my privilege to introduce our distinguished academician and researcher, Professor Ranjit Singh sir. He is an eminent figure in the field of the pharmaceutical sciences. Currently, he is serving as the Vice Chancellor of Shobit University, Saharanpur. He has made remarkable contributions to pharmaceutical education, research, administration over the past 27 years. Professor Singh sir holds a PhD in pharmaceutical sciences from Dr. Hari Singh Gaur Vishwavidyalaya, Sagar. This is currently Central University in Madhya Pradesh. And he has the rare distinction of being as he is gold medalist in both B.Pharm as well as M.Pharmacy. His career span various prestigious institutions where he has served a multiple leadership roles, including he has started with the head of the department, then dean, director, pro vice chancellor, and currently he is serving as a vice chancellor. Sir is also the awardee of a fellow of the Society of Pharmaceutical Education and Research. Professor Singh sir has played a crucial role as an expert member for regulatory bodies like PCA, AICTE, NBA, NAC. He is also an active life member of the professional organizations like APTA, Society of Pharmaceutical Education and Research, IPGA, and currently he is serving as a vice president of Society of Pharmaceutical Education and Research. His research impact is profound. He has published more than 221 number of publications, and he has presented 110 conference presentations. And also, sir is having the 15 number of patents and 27 book chapters to his credit. He has successfully guided 38 M.Pharm students and 32 PhD scholars. Currently, 8 PhD scholars are working under his guidance. And also nowadays everyone is feeling that H-index is the main factor for the research credentials. Sir is having the very impressive H-index. He is having H-index of 30 in Google Scholar and H-index of 28 in Scopus. It reflects his significant research contributions with a total impact factor exceeding 233. For his outstanding contributions, Professor Singh sir has been honored with over 47 number of awards and recognition. Today we are honored to have him with us to share his insights on role of complete well-being in facing challenges, making strategies, and finding solutions. So I feel this topic will be highly enlightening and impactful. So with this brief introduction, now I am requesting Professor Ranjit sir to start the session.
Thank you very much, Pawan. It was such a nice and brief introduction, quite encouraging. At the outset, let me convey my gratitude to the top management, the chairman, chief patron, the patron, principal, Dr. Natraj, Dr. Pawan, and Dr. Raja, who started all these things, for giving me this opportunity to interact with young teachers. Hopefully, all are younger to me, and some students are also there, as I am told. It is for me. It is really something a big honor, because I always love to interact and share my views. I like to share more of the stories that I learned. Uh, in my introduction, you just mentioned certain things, but I still consider myself as a learner, because the process of learning, unlearning, and relearning is very essential. So when you gave me the invitation, I just thought over what to speak around the theme. The theme is specific, understanding the complexities of drug development. And I took these words: challenges, strategy, and solutions. Then I decided to deliver a talk where I can share certain things about complete well-being. Because if you are healthy, overall healthy, only then you can perform. But as the topic, the theme is connected with drug development, drug discovery, so I thought it may be a repetition now that to mention certain aspects of drug discovery or drug development. So as you can see, the role of complete well-being in facing challenges, making strategies, and finding solution is my topic. And I think the technology that I am sitting in a small town named Gango in district Saharanpur of Uttar Pradesh in Shobit University and speaking to the audience across the country, especially Shri Vishnu College of Pharmacy, where I had a chance to visit it maybe 20 years ago. I still remember those memories. I still cherish those memories when I visited Bhimavaram. So thank you very much. And next slide, please. So when we speak of drug discovery, please change the slide. Uh, we all know, I consider that there are pharmacy faculty members and some student of pharmacy. So they know about drugs and drug discovery. Uh, Drug discovery, as you can see in the slide itself, it involves many different phases, different processes, right from the ideation, when the idea comes into the mind, till development and to approval. We all know that when you develop a drug, discover a drug, you change it into formulation, you prove its safety, efficacy, and then with all tons of data, when you apply for the approval, you take approval from the FDA, only then you can market it. And even after marketing, you monitor what you call as pharmacovigilance. So there are different stages. And the very first, when you can say early drug discovery process, it starts with screening for a potentially active compound. And the requirement is that the compound must be therapeutically effective, active for a disease, that is intended disease. And once you identify them, you test them for safety and efficacy, and of course, to some extent, the economy. And this is the data I think everybody knows that you can have only 1 out of 5,000 drugs which make it to market. You start with 5,000 drugs and only one make it to the market. Next slide, please. So, next slide. Now, this drug discovery, I think you skipped one. Just go one behind. Yeah, drug discovery process. It is very tough, very grueling, or it may take more than 10 years to develop a new drug. And what you need is tremendous amount of time, energy, and resources. This explains the fact that active ingredient has to go through many stages from discovery to approval, as I mentioned. And how will you prove that the compound which is active is safe? So you have to prove its safety uh, with in-depth examination and intensive studies. And that is why you to take so much of time, maybe 10 or more years to develop a new drug. Next, please. So, when we speak of early drug discovery process, we all know it involve many actions and testing. First, researchers collaborate. I see you have to uh, be very specific and give attention to all the words. Researchers collaborate. I will mention that collaboration is key to success in drug discovery. So when researchers they collaborate to identify and optimize potential leads to a specific target where the disease can be cured, then these leads must elicit a desirable effect on that particular biological target, and the search at this point is performed in laboratory using certain in silico platforms, certain biochemical assays, and cell cultures and various animal models. So this is the early drug discovery stage. The first stage, this is the first stage basically, it flow through many processes, sub-processes, target identification, target validation, then high throughput screening, high content screening we also call it, hit identification, assay development and screening, then hit to lead, we call H2L, lead generation, optimization, and in vivo and in vitro assays. So this is the first stage. Next slide, please. Then after this first stage comes the second stage, which we call as preclinical phase. In this stage, the substance identified during the early drug discovery, they are refined, optimized, and extensively tested in laboratory on animals or some alternative model for their efficacy and safety. The aim of this stage is to provide sufficient evidence of safety and efficacy before entering into the clinical trial in the humans. It is also useful to calculate the appropriate doses to test in humans. So here you also basically calculate the dose. Next slide, please. Once the safety and this efficacy is proved, only then we can start the clinical trial phase. And before the clinical trial start, it must be ensured that the new substance is available in sufficient quantities. Now, we all know that when you synthesize a new drug or isolate a new drug, quantity may be less. But before going into the clinical trials, which we follow after ensuring the safety and efficacy, the quantity of drug should be sufficient so that the clinical studies are carried out smoothly and effectively. Since only small quantities were previously required in first stage and second stage, production now has to be adopted to significantly higher demand, and we all know what you call as scale up. Regulatory authorities require preclinical studies before submit. If you want to submit the INDA, that is Investigation New Drug Application, to the approving authority, they need certain data on safety and efficacy. Next slide, please. Now, these are the clinical phases, and we all know about these clinical phases. There are 4. It is just repetition, but it is worthwhile to mention them here. Phase 1, 2, 3, and 4. Phase 1, where we assess the safety and calculate the doses of the drug. Phase 2 is where we evaluate the effectiveness, that is efficacy, and find out the side effects if they are there. In phase 3, we confirm the efficacy compared to a standard which is already available. In phase 4, this we call also long-term effects are studied after approval, the pharmacovigilance part. In the first stage, the tolerance and safety of drug candidate will be tested in a small group. That sample size increases. Once you move from phase 1 to 3 and phase 4, obviously is the long-term effects of the drug which are studied post-marketing. Next slide, please. So these are the clinical phases. And as we know, we need regulatory approval before we can market a drug. We can send it to market, and for getting regulatory approval, we need to submit the data about its safety and efficacy. So when the active substance completes the clinical trials, the data is then collected and analyzed. Now, collection of data and its analysis is important. And if we talk of today's context, then AI has made it very easy now. Collection of data and analysis in no time. So now it is possible that the drug discovery or development time is reduced significantly. Then it can be submitted to appropriate authorities for review. Now you have to see here where you would like to market the drug. So you have to study the rule and regulation of that country, that part, and then the data needed to prove the safety and efficacy of the drug is to be submitted to those appropriate authorities. So before you can sell a drug, obviously approval is required from National Regulatory Authority, and there is a process for that, and you have to follow that process. And I have already told that only one out of many, say around 5,000 candidates, makes it to clinical trial and into the market. So finally, you get approval for one, you start with many, and then you get approval for one. Next slide, please. Now, this is post-marketing monitoring. This is phase 4, as I told. It is also known as post-marketing surveillance trials. It takes place after receiving marketing authorization from the authorities. More comprehensive data is gathered regarding the effectiveness and safety of the new drug. A large number of patients taking the drug provide much data, very useful data, as well as compare it against treatment data already available. So that data is generated post approval during the marketing when it is being used on actual patients, and it is compared with some standard drug which is already existing. These studies are designed to assess the long-term effect of drug. In this way, adverse events can be recorded and avoided because the drug is monitored once it is marketed, and side effects or any other thing related to safety, it is noted and analyzed. Next slide. So there are many challenges. I just enumerate and enlist these challenges. As I told in the beginning itself, that this drug development or discovery is a lengthy, complex, and costly process, and it is engrossed and entranced with a high degree of uncertainty. You never know that you started with many number of compounds, or finally you will get some active compound or not. So it is full of uncertainties, high costs, lengthy timelines. Uh, Here I will mention that AI reduced that timeline. High attrition rates. You never know whether it will be successful or not, and difficulty in translating preclinical finding into successful clinical outcomes. That is a challenge. Regulatory hurdles. This is also a challenge. In different countries, there are different rules. Many hurdles are there. So to overcome those hurdles, what you need is very authentic and robust data, which is generated during the different phases of drug discovery. Next. Now, then uh, see, when you are developing a drug, first you have to know about the disease. So if the input about the disease is correct, then it becomes a bit easy. Otherwise, the unknown pathophysiology of many nervous system disorders makes target identification a challenge, because that's the very first step, target identification. So you face challenges there in target identification, the target involved in a disease. Any models often cannot recapitulate an entire disorder or disease. We work on animals in preclinical phases, so it may or may not possible that animal model is as effective as we consider. The main challenges in preclinical studies are improper study design. Study design also matters. Cost computability, timeline, lack of knowledge of pharmacovigilance. Regulatory agencies can focus on international and national laws and regulation where preclinical trial to be performed. This is where you wish to market the drug. So that is important to know. Next. Now, process is obviously lengthy, time consuming, full of complexity, full of uncertainty, and involved a lot of cost. So this is the success rate. Only 1 in 1,000, that is 0.1%, drug that enter preclinical trial will succeed to be tested on human, that is the clinical phase, and only 1 in 5, that is 20% of success of those that enter in human trials make it to approval. So this is the rate of success. Academic drug discovery, we are all from academic fraternity, and academic drug discovery can play a very important role. It offers great opportunities, but has challenges of prioritization and funding. Funding is a challenge always. Next slide, please. So, uh, next slide. Yeah. So there are certain challenges. Just name of those challenges. Critical challenges is the heading for this, and there are 7 critical challenges if we consider e-drug discovery. The volume of data, the format in which data is present, the location of data, data privacy and security, cost and time constraints, and lack of standardization. These are the challenges in e-discovery. Next slide. And these are the scientific and technical challenges that you will face while going for drug development or drug discovery. First is obviously challenge in understanding disease biology. Target identification, I have already mentioned, and validation of the target. Limitation of animal models, they may or may not reflect the true picture. Patient heterogeneity, this is a big challenge. You design drug for a population, but currently we are talking about personalized and customized medicines. Obviously, person to person we can cater the need of person to person. Lack of biomarkers, especially in herbal drugs. Incomplete data, because you can have a successful drug discovery only if you have authentic and complete data with you. There are drug delivery challenges. Once drug is established as an effective molecule, then you have to formulate it. That delivery challenges are there. Formulation is a challenge. Drug repurposing is a challenge, and computational challenges are there. Next slide, please. So these are the clinical and translational challenges. Translational, when you have to translate the drug from lab to the manufacturing floor. High failure rates in clinical trials. There is all possibility. Though we spoke of 20% success in a clinical trial, 1 out of 5 is successful. Patient recruitment is a challenge during clinical trial. Regulatory hurdle already mentioned. Lack of clinical phenotyping and patient stratification, that is the individual patient behavior. Inability to rely on published data, that authenticity of the data, and inadequate collaboration. I think this is the one area which need quite of the attention. And being a teacher, you have already all have heard about national education policy, where they spoke of the strong collaboration and taking care of all the silos. So if adequate collaboration is there, only then you can lead to a successful drug discovery. Next slide. These are the economic and business challenges: high cost, lengthy timelines, rising cost pressures. Cost rises with time, because we just spoke that it take around more than 10 years for a drug to be discovered. Medical supply issues and shortages, and hiring freezes. That is the manpower. If manpower is not available, obviously you will not be able to give the output. Next. If we speak of what is the current global state of drug discovery, because now these disrupting technologies, particularly artificial intelligence, is playing a very important role in, personal life or a professional life. So it is predicted that the length, complexity, uncertainty, and cost of drug discovery will be addressed by increased use of artificial intelligence, robotics, and automation, because collection and analysis of data has become easy now. But authenticity is one part that we have mentioned. Innovation in these fields, that is, this disrupting technology, are helping to streamline the process by the use of high throughput robotic screening in specialized assays. This has become a bit easy now. Further development of these technologies, these disrupting technologies in the drug discovery space, will likely to lead further improvement in coming years. So scenario has changed now by the advent of these disrupting technologies. And next slide, please. Now I come to the point, basically how I connected drug development or discovery challenges with this. When I speak of complete well-being, health you can define in many ways. Complete well-being means when you are physically, mentally, emotionally, socially, financially fit. There are so many kind of health. So this is the essence of my talk to all my colleagues, young colleagues, or my contemporaries, that your well-being matters a lot. You should be stress-free, no stress. You should be happy, healthy, so that you perform well in your personal life as well as in your professional life. So we all know healthy body is healthy mind. Yes, your body is healthy, your mind will be healthy. If your mind is healthy, your mindset will be healthy. And it is all the game of mindset. If you are positive in your thinking, you can do many things. If you are not positive, then you cannot do even the simple things. And you will all agree with me that if you are happy and satisfied, then you will perform better, you will behave better. And this is something you can control. what we call as resilience. I know when something wrong happens, it disturbs you. It can disturb any normal human being. But the duration for which you will remain disturbed, or the duration with which you will be coming out of that particular problem, it just can be and will be controlled by you. So be happy always. And these are the buzzwords: self care. You can contribute in a positive way only if you are healthy, and you will be healthy if you care for yourself. So being a bit selfish is always okay. Then how to enhance the knowledge, this particularly this third decade of 21st century, you all will agree with me that this is a decade of technology and skills. If you don't know how to handle things, if you don't have new skills, you cannot survive. So upskilling, learning new skills, and reskilling. There is upskilling, reskilling, and learning something new. And that can you do in a formal way, and then you can do by yourself, which is called as self-learning. And if you take care of yourself, if you learn things with the change time to make yourself future ready, you will be leading to a stage which is called stage of self-efficacy. And if you have all these three, you will have a successful life. Despite all hurdles, you will be a successful person. You will add value to your life and obviously to the lives of others. Maybe your professional friends, maybe your family friends, maybe your family member. And you will be successful if you accept the change. The first thing is that change is only constant. You cannot avoid change. So expect the change. Once you expect it, change will be there. Accept the change and adapt accordingly. Change yourself according to the the environment, the requirement, and move with the time. You have to change. When I was studying or during my sojourn, I was never much aware of such presentations, sitting one at one place and giving presentation on online. Now I know something. I'm not a perfect in this, but then I learned it. And in the beginning, I mentioned that we all are learners. Nobody is perfect. You can always progress if you have that tendency and mindset to learn. Learning, unlearning, and relearning is the essence of life. And skilling, upskilling, and reskilling. This is what is happening third decade, because even in a developed country, it has been noted that more than 90% of employees, they lack employability skills, because the time is changing. The skill that know right now may not be used in the next 6 months. So you have to reskill yourself. Technology is playing a very big role. It is ever evolving, and we must know the justified use of technology. Technology to be used as a tool for betterment of yourself and the humanity. So this is the changed scenario. Next slide, please. So there are, we all know all these. But I just will mention it, and just to remind you. So how you can be professionally good? You have to equip yourself with diversified skill sets: teacher, researcher, mentor, coach, and excellent administration. You cannot say this is not my duty. You need to know about multitasking. You need to learn many skills. Develop entrepreneurship skills to respond to what you call as VUCA, BUCA. This is a volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous word. And BANI, brittle, anxious, nonlinear, and incomprehensible word. So there, you see, changes are unavoidable, inevitable. So you have to develop yourself. Take risks and drive performance excellence to be future ready. You have to be future ready. You have to find out what will the scope, what is the future scope, what skill I need to learn to survive in 2026 or in 2025. Cultivate visionary mindset for long-term and sustainable development. We are all talking about sustainable development. I think you have heard about sustainable development goals of, which are given by I mean, there are 17 SDGs, and you have to work in a direction so that all the people on this globe, they are happy and satisfied. Learn contemporary technology and trends that I already mentioned. Next slide, please. So, in continuity, obviously, implement best practices available nationally and internationally. So, how will you come to know what are the best practices. So you have to be aware. Now, you need not to go physically to every place to learn best practices or something new. You can learn self-learning. That is why I mentioned in the beginning. Interact with people, interact physically, interact, I mean, like online or otherwise. Make your presence felt and learn new things and implement and apply those things at the place where you work. Hone, you have to enhance your administrative skills. Be prepared to deliver intervention to prepare student with new mindset. Here I mentioned students, but it is applicable to all of us. We need to change the mindsets. I mean, if you think positive, you can spread positivity, and otherwise it will be, I mean, a kind of negative aspect. Be an active contributor to the goal of nation building and inspire the same spirit around. I mean, your contribution may be small, but then when you do your duty sincerely with total efficiency, then certainly you are contributing to national building directly or indirectly. And these three things I've already mentioned: self care, self learning, which finally lead to self efficacy. I will throw some light on these three terms in my next slides. Next slide, please. Now, self-care, we all know what is self-care. It is anything that you do to keep yourself mentally, emotionally, physically, socially, and spiritually healthy. See, this is the type of health. If you don't practice self-care regularly, you are risking your well-being and inviting burnout. No anxiety, no stress. Anxiety may be there, but it should be short-lived. That you have to control. Next slide, please. So self-care is an ability of any individual, of all individual families and communities to promote health, prevent disease, maintain health and cope with illness and disability with or without the support of health worker. Only yesterday we celebrated World Health Day, and what we talked about there, that we all should be healthy, health should be accessible to all, affordable, and that role we can play as a pharmacist. Self care is something that everyone needs daily, not just those who may feel stress. So, care for yourself. Next, please. Yeah, so these are the types of self care. Similarly, as I mentioned the type of different kind of health. So, physical health care, how you can mind and body connection, social self care. You need to socialize, you need to talk to, you need to spend time in community to understand how social life can affect your professional life, mental, spiritual, and emotional self care. Next slide, please. So how you can do this? I know life has become very, sometime I have seen the young people, they are not very regular in doing physical exercise or moving around, sitting and sleeping, something like that. So get regular exercise, eat healthy, regular meals, stay hydrated. Sleep should be a priority. Try relaxing activity. You do normal things. It is not that you wake up whole the night and sleep in the day. Set goals and priorities. It is applicable to your personal life as well as your professional life. Practice gratitude. That is very important. Focus on positivity. Stay connected. Connected. It is a buzzword again. Technology is playing its role, but people connect is something which you cannot even. Technology cannot replace it. Talking to the people, understanding them, and contributing there is something wonderful. Next slide, please. So these are the you can have self-care, like what is your current situation, what are your needs. You have to brainstorm, you have to think over, you have to set clear and achievable goals. You have to schedule your self-care activities, monitor your progress and adjust as necessary. Seek support when needed. Don't live in isolation. Be a social animal. Next slide, please. This is self-learning then. Self-learning is something which you learn without the help of other. That is the definition of self-learning. And the thing is that formal education that we give in our institution will make you living, while self-education or self-learning will make you a fortune. So self-learning play a very important role. There are so many platforms are there where you can learn. You can learn by observation. You can learn online. There are so many modules, so many platforms. You can find out a skill. You can learn that. Next slide, please. And when you care for yourself, when you have ability and mindset to learn new things, this will lead to self-efficacy, which is must for success. It is a most sort of tribute for success and happiness, because everybody want to be successful and happy. Next slide. So self-efficacy, I will just give the definition here because this presentation is with you all. It is ability to succeed in different situations. And self-esteem is a word where you respect yourself. You respect yourself, you respect your value, respect your worth. Love yourself and then start everything. Self-care, self-efficacy, self-esteem. Self-esteem is something how you judge yourself, how you judge your worth. And efficacy refer to our confidence in doing things. Self-esteem and self-efficacy can be developed over time. This is something which you can develop over time. Next slide, please. Uh, Now, these are two are very much connected or related. And you can say that self-efficacy is a schematic for positive change, and self-sufficiency is the mechanism. In other words, one is thought while other is action. So this is self-efficacy and self-sufficiency. Self-efficacy just refer to one, individual's belief in his or her capacity to execute behavior necessary to produce specific performance attainment. You will be outcome oriented once you believe yourself, and if you are effective, yourself is effective. Next slide, please. So how you can get this self-efficacy? Mastery experiences. The experiences that you have to master those experiences. Then vicarious experiences where you learn by observing, where you observe somebody and see that he or she is doing something good, and you observe critically and learn by observation. Verbal persuasion. Somebody can verbally pursue you to do some good thing. Physiological and effective stages. Some examples are there. Say, for example, feeling assured you can reach your health goal through a structured diet and exercise plan. If you have a structured diet and exercise plan, you can be healthy. Like you can speak a new language after consistently taking classes, or starting a project you are unfamiliar. You are starting something which is with which you are not familiar, but you feel confident with the time and figure out how to do it. So there is something, self-efficacy is the positive attitude. Anything given to you, the first thing you should say, yes, you will do it. And once you accept it, then work out strategies, find out solutions to complete it successfully and give the output. Next slide, please. So in next 2-3 slides, I will tell you what are the skills that you need to be successful. So to achieve success, cultivate a mix of hard and soft skills. There are different kind of skills like critical thinking, much talked in even national education policy, creative thinking, critical thinking, communication, soft skills, problem solving, adaptability, emotional intelligence, empathy. And empathy is must. You must respect others' feeling. Critical thinking, communication, problem solving, adaptability, EI, emotional intelligence, time management, self-awareness, resilience, I mentioned in the beginning itself, initiative and drive, and networking. Networking is the net worth, your connect with people, your relationships, when you develop over the time, and the relationship you develop when you work for others, selfless service to the society. You do selfless service, do good to others, and in return you will get that. Technical skills and leadership skills, creativity, innovation, collaboration is must. Digital literacy is must. Reading, writing, and numeracy. These are the skill for success. Next slide, please. These are the words. You can all follow these words, and everybody knows about these. Belief in yourself, confidence, determination, motivation, awareness, curiosity, commitment, consistency, clarity, collaboration. You see, there are some repetition here. Listening is something wonderful. You can learn many things by listening and simply observing, understanding, and speaking clearly. Whatever you know, you should be able to convey it clearly, persuading and negotiating effectively, demonstrating empathy, assertiveness, and tact, understanding the needs of all stakeholders. You're working in an academic institution, you must understand what are the need of your colleagues, your staff, your students, your employers, the parents, the promoters who are running their institution. Establishing relationship using networks. This is very important. Technology, you can be very technology savvy, but if you don't have a strong network, then it is of no use. Writing appropriately. You see, speaking and writing skills. If you have very good ideas, if you are not able to convey it, your thoughts orally or in writing, there is no use. I have seen over the time that people have, they are missing this thing, writing skills and speaking skills. Writing things in correct language, writing in emphatic language, so that whatever you are saying is understandable to others and understandable to the extent that they accept it. Confidence, perseverance, organization, getting along, and resilience. These are the skills. Next slide, please. Now, this is my last slide. Uh, we all know health is wealth. There could be no second thought to this statement. We are in a world which have already undergone or undergoing digital transformation. Use of technology is inevitable. You can't avoid it. It has become an inherent and intrinsic part of your life. You are depending on it to a larger extent. Anything, I mean, you're doing technology is playing a very important role. So be tech savvy. Lifestyle changes leading to many diseases. It is a matter of concern. Lifestyle changes, be it food, be it your habits, when you sleep, how you walk, how you sit, your physical activity, your mental alertness. So, this is a matter of concern. Health should be top priority, and if you want to perform well, if you want to give the outcome, you should be healthy mentally, physically, emotionally, socially. So this is my message. So beat any challenge, I mean drug discovery, drug development, it's your personal challenge or professional challenge. If you are healthy, you can face the challenge. Next slide, please. So this is the last slide. I'm my gratitude to you all for patient listening, and thank you so very much to the organizers, to all my colleagues who are there. Around 99% are involved, including me. Thank you very much. Wish you a very healthy, happening, and bright future. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Requesting audience, if you have any queries or if you want any suggestions, you can interact with our eminent speaker, Ranjit sir.
I will be available even after this talk throughout till the time I am live, right? So if there is any question, you can ask me. But it's a very generalized topic, generalized things I just discussed. So
Yes.
love to have any question if there is.
Because of technology, these all are ignoring, sir. Technology, because of technology, we are ignoring health is wealth is most important.
Yeah.
Unless that, nothing is there.
Right. So I think audience is not sleeping. Basically, it is a afternoon, a hot afternoon in my place. so, so I thank you again for giving me this chance, and thank you, audience.
Yeah, please. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for accepting our invitation. So we are extending our heartful thanks on behalf of Shri Vishnu College of Pharmacy. So really, this session was very impactful, sir. So essentially, like the areas what you have focused, like skilling, reskilling, and upskilling. So this is very important. This is very important for all our young faculty.
So without the upskilling and without reskilling, it's very difficult to get success in our career. So thank you so much, sir. So
Thank you.
only skills are the pathway for the success. Thank you, sir.
So I think I can leave now, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Sir.
Okay.